Urkel was on TV. They're calling him, your name is Steve Urkel. That's it. Your name's not Jaleel. Your name's Steve Urkel is on TV. But, you probably remember, Jaleel wasn't no sucker.
Nah, he wasn't. And he could ball.
And he could ball.
I remember seeing him at MTV celebrity games.
Yo, he was playing, and when dudes would call him Urkel, he would say, yo, that's not my name, that's not my fucking name. And he threw his hands up a few times. I mean, people broke it up and stuff.
Yeah, broke it up, but he was down to fight.
Yeah, he was down to fight.
I go hard in the paint. We running the same. But what I need to know is who running the same. I go hard in the paint.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the RTC Run the Court podcast. I'm joined right now. I got a special guest with me in the building. But I got my man Justin right there. He's not that special. I got Ryan, the founder.
My wife likes me.
I'm sort of special.
Ryan's pretty special. He's the founder of 13th Bridge. But today we got a special guest because at 13th Bridge Run the Court game, we're going to be talking about all the street ball stuff. That's what this game is. The game's about street ball, hip-hop, culture. So we have one of the biggest staples in Brooklyn street ball. Trainer, coach, he's organizer, all the street ball tournaments. I got my man Tyler Wilson, but the streets know him as Toof. And if you're in the street basketball community, especially in Brooklyn, but all through New York, you know who Toof is. Toof, thank you for joining us, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Yo, I want to dig and pick your brain, bro, because this guy knows basketball, like street basketball. So a lot of people in the basketball world, maybe internationally, don't know you, but in New York, they know you. Start from the beginning. Where are you from? And when did you start playing ball and why did you fall in love with ball?
From Brownsville, Ocean Hill, up the hill.
Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Probably started playing basketball organized in 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade. I had an older brother who played serious basketball, and so I just wanted to be like him. Nice. And so I just followed in his footsteps.
You were nice at ball?
I was pretty good. I played in college. I played in high school.
Nice.
I was pretty good. I wasn't as good as my brother, but, I played.
Oh, your brother was better than you?
Yeah, my brother was super nice. He won 1978. He won the Iron Horse Award, which is the best player in New York City.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Yeah, and he went to play at University of Georgia. Played with Dominique Wilkins in the backcourt.
Oh, that's your man.
That's your man. Bro, that's my man. Yeah. I love Dominique Wilkins. I feel he's...
Shout out JT, Big Jeff Thomas.
I think he's underrated, B. Oh, man. All right, so you 1978. So
yeah, 1978. Yeah,
ball since the 70s. So you watched how the Knicks just sucked all the way through.
It's so bad I stopped liking them.
Were you a Knicks fan?
Yeah, I was.
He was. Now you bailed out.
Yeah, I'm out.
It's pretty tough to be hanging on.
Yeah, I quit. I'm a Nets fan now.
That's we fuck with the Nets. We like that.
I mean, I still I still find myself watching the Knicks, but
because your heart,
I don't expect
your
much.
Heart loves the Knicks. We all do. Our hearts love the Knicks.
Nah, so
I'm a
I was from Jersey,
follower.
so I was a big Nets fan with J. Kidd and Kmart. That team and Richard Jefferson.
Oh, that was a dope team.
Oh, yeah, that was a dope team.
That was a good team.
Kerry Kittles and all.
Kerry Kittles, he was my guy. So he's got his Villanova gear on. I'm an anti-Villanova. I'm a Xavier fan, so we talked about that a little bit before.
Javon Pinkston.
Yeah,
he's my guy.
So
let me take it back for a sec. You dropped the Dominique Wilkins on us, but now what happened after? Did he?
Oh, my brother.
After, yeah,
he did 2 years at Georgia, and then he transferred to Ohio University, and he finished up at Ohio University, and I think his junior or senior year, that was their first time they went to the NCAA tournament, and they beat Illinois State in the first round. And that was back in the days when the game used to come on at 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
I remember staying up to watch it. And they beat them on like a last-second play, and my brother threw the inbound. And it was like a tip, kind of like the Valparaiso play back in the like the same kind of
right.
Same kind of play, and the guy hit the jump shot.
So I remember where I was. That was one of those moments. I remember we were watching. I was in I think 7th or 8th grade, and that game was on. And somehow in science class we talked our teacher into letting us watch the game. And I remember that play. It was like Bryce Drew was just on fire that whole time. Yeah.
So then the next round they played Kentucky, and so my brother played against everybody from the SEC. He had went back and played against that SEC team, that Kentucky team. They lost.
Was he trying to make the NBA? Was that his end goal?
That was, but I think towards the end, like he started to understand like the politics of it, everything behind the actual part of the basketball game. I never really asked him because, like, it's my idol, bro. Like, I never really asked him. But like when I got older and I started to understand it, I think the politics got the best of him, and he just said, later for it. I think he had what it took to.
Well, go on a lighter note, man.
No, it's all good. He lives a comfortable life. He's cool.
He's good. He's good. I know. When you love basketball, you want that NBA dream. You know what I mean? But politics, bro, you see it today. Still politics. Yeah. But being in New York City, who have you come up with? Who have you seen in these parks? Who have you seen come through as far as NBA players or just big time showstoppers that come to the park? And who you have relationships with? I
mean, I've seen everybody pretty much. Like, like if I wasn't there coaching against them, or just being a fan of the game, like
Kobe.
I was at the Rucker when Kobe came to Rucker, but remember I lived in LA too for a while, and I hung out with LO when they were making their run. So I was at a lot of Laker games. I was at a lot of you went to UCLA, so the men's gym, the open run, what they call it, Rico Hines now.
Open run there,
but
crazy.
The open run is like
you got Adam Sandler showing up.
Oh yeah, I don't know that.
Everybody, but I mean, you got like everyone's in the summer. Everybody's there,
nice,
and so they're going and running over there.
Yeah, like, and they're playing their version of streetball. Yeah. So like you're seeing like
pickup game.
Yeah, pickup game. Like you're seeing Paul Pierce battling with Kobe. You're seeing Ricky Davis and Kobe like going at it. Like they're not counting turnovers or shots, so they're just going at it. Gilbert Arenas killing people.
Wow.
Like
wow.
Are there regional differences in the way people play streetball? Like someone from LA and New York. Like what would be like a difference that maybe someone wouldn't notice?
LA, they like to talk, but they play N1s. So if they get a shot up and you foul them, they call N1. If it goes in, it counts. If not, they take it out.
Right.
Whereas in New York, if you make a call, it don't count.
Yeah.
Take it back out. So like when I moved out there, I was still like relatively young, so I was still playing, and I just started fouling dudes extra hard. Like you're gonna run your mouth. I'm not giving you a chance to make the shot too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Knicks style.
Yeah.
Anthony Mason, Oakley.
That was the first place that I ever went to the park, and they counted threes. Like they would run, they would run transition, and guys would run. Like this was 2005. They were running to the corner, shooting corner threes and street ball.
No one was doing that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, in LA, it was like different. Like it was like more run and gun, fast paced. Whereas I grew up in New York, we were playing like New York Knicks Oakley ball with fouling.
To the hoop.
Yeah,
like they count them as threes or they count them as twos.
Well, if you're playing, some places they count twos and ones. Yeah. Some places they count threes and twos. It depends on the gym or the park that you were playing.
I always played twos and ones. I never been to a spot where they counted threes and twos in the park. That must be some LA.
Well, it's funny because the Point Guards documentary that they just had, where they were talking about like all these guys always driving because the double hoops, these tight hoops throughout New York that no one wanted to shoot.
I wanted to ask you something, Toof, because you love basketball, but obviously you're business minded. We have a mutual friend. He was telling me about a business. You're sort of like a pioneer. You were out there doing meal prepping, before everybody. You were in LA.
Yeah.
How did you start that? Why did you start that? What made you think of that?
Some friends of mine gave me an opportunity. They put the money up, and we had a company. It was called Chef's Diet, and it delivered. It was based upon the zone diet back then.
Okay.
Like that was like the fad 40-30-30. 40% carbs, 30% proteins, 30% favorable fats. Every meal was broken down like that. So we had we would deliver it in an insulated cooler bag. It was breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks. And so I went out there and Yeah, we made it.
Delivered to who?
We delivered it like to people who could afford it. It was like, so if you did a 7-day plan, it was like $55 a day. But we would try to encourage people to do a 30-day plan, and we would charge you maybe between $29 to $34 a bag.
Oh.
And
you were bringing it to ballers?
Yeah, so we had all kinds of celebrities. We had athletes. Lamar was on it. Yeah,
Lamar Odom?
Yeah, we had a bunch of Mekhi Phifer. We had Angela Bassett. We had we would do like the Grammy suites. We would do
so you were bubbling out there. That's a good business, man. What
did you like LA?
Yeah.
I didn't really when I was out there.
Yeah. Then you leave and you're like,
yeah. When I left, I was like,
I did the same thing. I did the same thing.
Yeah, because of the weather.
Yeah.
Back to New York. Oh man.
But let me tell you, the first time I went out there, January 1st, 2005. Like the start for the New Year's Eve. So I probably went out there maybe 2-3 weeks ahead to get things situated. So now, 2005 Thanksgiving, I come from LA. I'm in shorts.
Oh,
I drove to the airport. I had my winter stuff in a bag, and I had a carry-on. I forgot the winter stuff. I get off the plane. I got on flip-flops, shorts, and a T-shirt, and it was snowing. There was about 5 inches of snow.
Yeah. What years were you in LA?
From 05 to 12.
All right, I was there 06 to 09.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was actually at UCLA when Kevin
so
Love
we probably
and
bumped.
Westbrook
Yeah,
and Holiday and that team was
that.
dope.
Oh, well, I was out there. We had a Flalo, Jordan Farmer,
Yeah.
I want to bring up this, man. Can we tell the story? Can we tell our story, please? I got my basketball claim to fame story. What was that? Was it 91? What was it, 91?
Yeah, 91, 1991.
My guess is 91.
New York Knicks Camp?
New York Knicks Camp. So I went up to New York Knicks Camp, 91. He was a counselor there, but we didn't know each other. So we went up there. It was everybody from all over. It was like from all the boroughs. And we went up, what was it, Westbury?
Oh, Westbury, from the old Westbury.
So we went up there, and it was all us kids, probably ranged from 12 to 17, something around there.
Yeah.
So, but it was a rough crowd. You know what I mean? It was like Spofford a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it was all the kids from all different boroughs. So I remember I went there with my little cousin. My little cousin never really got out like that. He was younger than me. And we brought him up, and I was like, yo, look, he's in a separate age bracket, so he's not gonna be with me all the time. I was supposed to go there to watch him, protect him. But when we get there, we didn't know what we were walking into. I said, oh shit, this kid. So I gave him a little pep talk. Listen, mind your business. Something happens.
Keep your head low.
Yeah, call me, let me know. So we bring him to his room, right? I'm helping him unpack, right? I go in his bag to put sheets on his bed and stuff, like to help put sheets. He got Bart Simpson sheets, dog. Bart Simpson sheets, dog. I said, oh, they're gonna chew this kid up. They're gonna chew him up, bro. He got the pillowcase, Bart Simpson's face, Lisa. I'm like, yo. So anyway, we go. He did all right, though. He was all right. He wanted to learn ball. So we're playing ball and stuff, and Steve Urkel's there, Jaleel White. He's there he's part of the kids. He's traveling with us. He's eating with us. He's playing with us. And, these kids from New York, they don't give a fuck about it. Urkel was on TV. They're calling him, your name is Steve Urkel. That's it. Your name's not Jaleel. Your name's Steve Urkel is on TV. But, you probably remember, Jaleel wasn't no sucker.
Nah, he wasn't. And he could ball.
I
remember seeing him at MTV celebrity games.
Yo, he was playing, and when dudes would call him Urkel, he would say, yo, that's not my name, that's not my fucking name. And he threw his hands up a few times. I mean, people broke it up and stuff.
Yeah, we broke it up, but he was down to fight.
Yeah, he was down to fight, and he was down to play. So, it was, and it's young kids, so everybody's from New York, so it was rough ball. A lot of us were playing rough ball, but it was good. But the cool part about it was, that camp, they had some real big names come through, man.
Yeah.
You remember a lot of those names? I remember Conrad McRae, rest in peace. Malik Sealy, rest in peace. Legends were coming to that. You remember who else was there?
Kenny Smith came, Rick Fox, Greg Anthony. Some of the other counselors, Lance Miller.
Okay, yeah. Lance.
Trent Forbes, Malcolm Huckabee. Me and Malcolm Huckabee became good friends at that camp.
Nice.
Cornell Parker, remember he played for Virginia.
Shawnell Scott.
Big Charnell, Big Nell.
St. John.
Kamani Young, who's now assistant coach at UConn.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I met Kamani there.
I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, Kamani was just graduating high school, I think, and then he did like 1 year at LIU, and he didn't really like it. He felt like he could go better, and he ended up transferring to UTEP, and he got busy at UTEP.
Nice.
He had a real good career. Kamani was good.
All right, so I got a question. Who's your all-time favorite college team? Not like
Football or basketball?
I'd love to hear your football, but basketball.
Football is
like,
Florida State.
Oh, okay,
Anybody knows me,
okay.
Florida State. Basketball, it kind of changes. You know, Fab Five
Was there
era.
a certain year?
I loved
a certain
Michigan.
year? Okay.
But,
All right.
you know, because of my godson, Javon, I became like a Villanova fan. And then I have a nephew who loves North Carolina so much to make me hate him. Now I don't like North Carolina. But
Well, Fab Five, like when you were growing up, Fab Five was the one.
I mean, I was in college, but I was a Fab Five fan. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Fab Five, UNLV, Rebels.
UNLV.
yeah, UNLV. I loved UNLV too.
UNLV.
Did you,
I
you hated Duke? You hated them,
I
right?
hated.
I like Duke with Johnny Dawkins.
With Johnny Dawkins.
Yeah,
No,
but
after that.
Then after that, I kind of didn't like Duke.
I like him now, but
Yeah, I like
mean,
him now,
I fell
yeah.
for that narrative, that Christian leader. Like, but I remember where I was when they beat UNLV, like 79-77. I remember where I was when he hit the shot
too.
against Kentucky, and I was like, no.
Yeah, me too.
No, but that documentary changed the way I thought about Duke.
Yeah.
Like, Leitner was a dog. Like, he was a tough kid.
Yeah.
They made him sound like 90210. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
tried
yeah.
to pin him like that. But he was a
And
tough
Hurley
He
was
was a
too.
dog. Hurley was a dog, too.
Yes, he
Jersey
was.
City.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
So, yeah, man.
I remember for a long time they used to like discredit Christian Leitner, but for like his first 3-4 years in the league, he averaged like 20 and 10.
Yep. People forget that.
Yeah.
Well, because he was like considered the add-on to the Dream Team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They put him there.
Yeah.
And
They
he kind
were
of
like,
didn't
yeah,
belong
we
there.
Got Shaq spot.
Put two
Yeah.
college players. And yeah.
So now, let's talk a little bit more on basketball because obviously you have a lot of basketball knowledge. What are the players that your favorite players coming up, like when you were younger in that 80s, 90s era? What are your favorite players?
Pearl Washington.
Earl the
R.I.P.
Pearl?
No, Dwayne Pearl
Oh,
Washington.
Dwayne Pearl.
Yeah,
Dwayne
yeah,
Pearl.
yeah.
Oh,
Syracuse,
yeah.
Brownsville,
Syracuse.
Brooklyn.
shit, yeah.
Uncle
That's
B,
like
what's up?
everybody's favorite, man.
Yeah, Pearl.
What about like after that? Barkley, Oakley, these guys.
Oh,
Larry
probably
Bird.
that era. I didn't really like Larry Bird. I respected Larry Bird, but I didn't really like Larry Bird. Now, as an adult, like I really respect the work he was doing. But back then, like I was like, eh. Like plus he was Boston. I was a Knicks fan. Like I couldn't like Larry Bird. My favorite player probably back then, I don't know. It might have been Kendall Gill, yo.
Oh, wow.
It might have been Kendall Gill.
That was Charlotte and then the Nets, right?
Yeah, it might have been Kendall Gill.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Like Kenny Anderson, obviously.
Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, it was good.
I got a chance to play with Kenny Anderson back in the days. Like, yeah.
All right, so then next question. 90s ball to now. What's your comparison to that? They're better athletes now.
I think it's better athletes now.
What's tougher?
I think back in those days, everybody was a little bit more fundamental, a little bit more cerebral. But I think now, they're just way more physically gifted.
Oh, yeah.
I think
They're more, but all right, now would the guys now would be good then, or would the guys then be good now? Or
two different basketball games.
Two different games.
Two different games.
Now it was
I don't
more
even want to
cere-
compare the two. It's two different games.
Yeah, but that's a big conversation. But it's
But it's not fair. It's
Yeah.
like saying like, well, hand check, like, well,
Yes,
like you know what I mean, like
yes,
so,
yes.
like it's a lot of variables. Like if you really break the game down, it's two different games.
But that's a big argument I have with a lot of people because I say that. I say, yo, these kids are bananas now, that athleticism. But back then, they didn't train for that athleticism. Like you just said, they were very fundamental and there was more mental. So they'll try to break, not only they locking you on defense, but they're talking all kinds of shit. Now the kids today, would they be mentally stable for a game of Larry Bird in your ear all day? You know what I mean? Basketball is also
Yeah.
mental. You
Maybe
know what I'm saying?
not. Maybe not them 2020, but if they came up playing
Well,
that way,
that's their argument.
that's the impossible
They would
argument.
be a different kind of player if they were coming up back then. You know what I mean? Like these new kids.
Yeah, but now as a trainer, I think this is probably a bad statement as a trainer, but as a trainer, I think one of some of the negatives from the kids now, they train, they don't play.
Yeah.
Like the parks
Run a lot
are
of
not,
drills, but
yeah. So now when it's time to implement it, it's a little different. Like
Yep.
they can't really implement it. Like we had trainers back in our days, whether you realize it or not. You know what our trainer was? 21.
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah.
You learned how to beat your man, scoring traffic.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like so like it was a trainer, but it wasn't the way it's done now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you learned how to play basketball because you went to the gym or the park. There was 7 Nexes. There was an older guy on your team who told you if you didn't play defense, you were never gonna get picked again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like so you learned how to value possessions. Like you learned how to win at the end of games because you knew that if you lost, you probably weren't gonna get picked up or day was over.
You're gonna sit and wait.
Yeah, so you learned how to value every possession. Game was 11. At 9 up, bro, I got to get 2 good shots and I got to get a stop in between.
I gotta play D.
Yeah. So like you learned how to play the game. Like now these guys, it's all training. You dance in front of a cone, throw through your legs 7 times, you shoot. Now you try to translate into the game. Now that's
You gotta find that balance.
yeah,
to be
that's
able to do that.
that's the problem.
Well, it's been interesting too to see like the more basketball academies that are you've got like Sunrise or Arizona Campus Prep, like you got like all these like basketball, almost like high schools that are just focused on basketball, and the guys transferring in there and not playing in their leagues. Like, what's your feeling on that?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like. To me, it's almost like what they're doing overseas.
Yeah.
Like they're starting them early, they're getting them prepared, and they're playing against elite level competition at an early age.
Yeah.
So, I think that'll get us back, for that advantage that we started to lose to the overseas guys.
Yeah. Yep.
So I like it. I sent my oldest son, 19 years old. I sent him to one last year, like in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So just so he can get better and stuff, and so he can play against that kind of
I
competition.
got another question for you, man. I'm not gonna do the LeBron Jordan question. Everybody does that shit. My question is, if you're under 40, do you even have a right to have an opinion on that topic? If you're
That's a
under
good
40,
question. Nah, you really can't.
you can't, right?
But now here's the flip side to that. When I was growing up, the older guys
Yeah.
would never say that Michael Jordan was better than Dr. J.
Yeah.
So it's
If you're under 60, you can't have that. Kareem.
yeah.
Like
anybody over
Well,
60
that's-
saying Michael Jordan's not the greatest
Right,
Kareem.
right.
Like
And then 80 is
Yeah,
Bill
but
Russell.
that's-
Bill Russell.
yeah, but that's more of
under
a,
80, under 60, under 40.
no, but that's more
If you're
of a
100 is
balance.
George Mikan.
That's a more of a balanced conversation, though. Like the Dr. J. Jordan. Even if you ask the older timers, I find you a whole bunch of old timers that'll go with the Jordan.
now,
You know what
but
I'm
back then,
Well, back then, because that was their guy.
Yeah, right.
But today, you talk to any of these young guys, there's no balance. There's LeBron. You know what I mean? There's
but
no
that's
balance.
that's their guy. That's who they know. Like
No, I get it, but
20
how do you make a
20 years that may
judgment
change.
call if you don't see both sides? I'm 44 years old. I seen both sides. I seen Jordan go at it, and I seen LeBron, both at their peaks, both at their declines. I saw it, the beginnings. So my call is valid.
100%, I agree. Like under 40, yeah, you probably
So that's but
and you didn't see it live,
yeah, you didn't. See
and all
it.
you saw is highlights.
Yeah, like we talked with Justin the other day. Justin's younger. What was he, 33,
34.
34. So we were talking yesterday. So I told him I was joking, breaking his balls, and I was just like, yo, bro, you can't really have an opinion on this because you didn't see Jordan score 16 out of the last 18 on Channel 4 on
not
NBC
just once,
on
not just
Saturday.
once, like,
you know what I'm
all
saying?
the time.
You didn't watch that because when you're watching that in real time, you're seeing, holy shit, in the fourth quarter, Michael Jordan is playing 1 against 5 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's literally going down there scoring
He's not
16
gonna
out of
let his team
18.
lose. He's gonna do,
That's a different kind of greatness.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what his answer was? Well, I watched the ESPN special. What was it called?
No.
I know that much.
No, I did watch him when I was younger, but I think the Jordan.
You saw him
doc-
on the Wizards, bro.
I think the Jordan doc that came out probably won a lot of people more towards Jordan that were going back and forth between him and LeBron, because I'm watching that and I'm seeing things that I've never seen done before. And I knew he can do them, but just to watch like a highlight reel of every single episode, every time they show him, he's doing something that I've never seen before. So people who are like, oh, LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Kobe Bryant, whoever their guy was, they can see this greatness literally displayed every second of that documentary, and they go, oh, I get it. I get why this person, they think that way.
Can you say Michael Jordan was the best in his era every year from maybe his second year on? He was the best player in the league from maybe his third year on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No? You wouldn't say that?
A lot of them, but
I would say yeah, but now, was LeBron the best player when Kobe was killing?
Not when Kobe was killing them.
So could you really compare the two?
Yeah. Nah, I'm on your
Was Kobe
side.
the best player every year that he played, though? He wasn't either.
No, but when Kobe was on.
But what I'm saying is, like, if LeBron's been in the league, say if 50, let's round number 15. If 15 of his years that LeBron was in the league, Kobe was in the league. Kobe may have been a better player 10 of those years.
Yes. Yes.
It's tough.
Could you be number one when you were number two most of your years?
It's tough.
Yeah, that's a hard competition, Kobe. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, but if we're gonna put LeBron, we can't surpass Kobe. We can't forget about Kobe and just put him right with Mike.
Yeah.
When most of his years he wasn't even outperforming Kobe.
Well, that's what I always say. That's my argument in every barbershop is everybody saying LeBron Jordan, and I'm always the one saying Kobe Bryant, man. You know what I mean? It's Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant came into the league. They call him, oh, he's just like Michael Jordan, just like my dude lived up to it.
Yeah.
He basically almost made it to six.
both those guys had a lot of pressure. I mean, LeBron was like the next big thing. He was like 15 on the cover of Slam, you know.
It's a lot of pressure.
He handled that well, just like Kobe did too. And Kobe, I mean, you remember that air ball, that playoff series, like
3 air balls.
Bro, I would not have come back from that. Yeah, I would not have come back.
He had it
from
ready.
That.
3.
Like, that guy acted like. I mean, that's one of the things that makes those guys great.
But you have to have the balls to take those shots,
it.
though.
Yes.
Like
You
you're still
have to want
special to want to take those shots. Like it's easy to pass that shot.
So let me ask you this: like, obviously, LeBron is a freak athlete, and you have Giannis, these freak athletes. Who do you think, maybe even from the '70s to the early '90s, was an absolute freak athlete that wouldn't have missed a beat, you know, with today's guys in terms of what they're able to do as athletes?
I think again is different because the lens that we saw them, they were allowed to. It was defense was a lot more physical.
Right.
But like with freedom of movement, what would Dominique do? What would Michael Jordan do with freedom of movement? Like you know, like with the NBA is saying we don't want you to foul, we want to see them score points. Like this guy was getting 40s, he's got 60s in the era when you were getting guys get thrown out for what was a common foul back then.
Right.
Like so, I don't know. Like,
It's tough.
like yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of Wembanyama?
That kid is a monster. that kid is a monster.
Yeah,
That kid is a monster.
out of control.
Well,
You know they're streaming all of his G League games now.
Every game now. Yeah, they were like, wait.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see. We got to see if he holds up, man. It's gonna get a lot more physical as he goes up. You know,
Yeah,
when he goes to that
But they're
next
not
level.
allowing him to be physical.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he could. Yeah, KD. He's got a similar physique.
Yeah.
KD's good.
But
Yeah.
look at, I mean, some of these guys, and I think the other thing, maybe you know this as a trainer, like when I was growing up, I played 3 sports. You know, you were using different muscles, you were doing different things. Now with the repetition, you're seeing more, you know, injuries because of the repetition of playing just one sport, using the same things. And I know they can try to balance it out with a lot of stuff, but you know, and now these guys, the way they're built, like look at Chet, right? Chet or whatever. Like I sit there and I'm like, he's gonna get injured every week. Like, I don't know how he's going to be able to handle this. Like, especially when he's been playing exclusively ball and with that build. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's true. That's true.
I mean, we don't have the answer yet, obviously. But like, you take a guy like Giannis, right? Like, he's diesel.
But he didn't come like that.
But he didn't come like that, right?
Yeah.
It was 4 or 5 years before he started, and then he took it to a next level.
Yeah.
And he's competitive, and he was working hard. But I mean, some of these guys now are like 7'3", 120 pounds. It's crazy.
And they're 3-point shooters.
Yeah, and they're freaks too. Like I hope I'm wrong, but like I always worry about Zion's hips.
Oh yeah.
I always think that like almost like the Bo Jackson kind of
the
like
explosiveness with that body type. I mean, that's why the shoes broke. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Zion, man. He could be something incredible if he can stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy.
Yep. He's
But-
a freak.
With that build, like it's almost like an injury waiting to happen, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, Shaq. They said the same about Shaq too. You know.
But he wasn't that
Yes.
explosive, like not like that with the cuts. And,
But Shaq used to do backflips and
That's-
stuff
yeah,
too.
that's
Like
true.
Shaq was an extraordinary athlete.
no, absolutely, no doubt about that.
He was jacked. Like he was, like towards the end, he was just a big body. But in
Yeah.
the beginning, he was crazy.
No, he was. What was he like? 320. He was like, but they were like 4% body fat.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
That's just
Wild.
that's this, bro. That's this.
Yeah,
You
wild.
know. But
Yeah.
yo, man, Toof, thank you. This is
No
a great
problem.
conversation, man.
No problem.
We're talking basketball with. This guy knows basketball, and he agrees with me on LeBron and Jordan and Kobe.
My boy Jeroy would kill me if I didn't tell y'all this story.
Okay.
All right. So now this is going back to street ball.
We got bonus.
So
All right.
Lincoln Park, what's up? So my boy Chink started the Lincoln Park, Lincoln Park tournament in Queens.
Yeah.
So he started the tournament. We won the tournament 2 years in a row. The Brooklyn team, remember the orange shirts? Y'all remember? Mm-hmm. And so the third year, I said I got cocky. I was like, yo, Chink, y'all ain't ready for us. I said, here's what we're gonna do. I said, I'm not gonna put a team in. I said, but for the All-Star game, I'll bring my team for the All-Star game. And we'll play y'all. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah. So we bring the team out for the All-Star game. Their team was so big, Lamar Odom was the 2 guard. This is Lamar. Lamar was at UNLV. It was in between the UNLV and Rhode Island.
Yeah,
it was like that. Oliver Taylor. I don't know if you remember him. Went to Seton Hall. He played like some time with Chicago Bulls. They had another guy, Porter. Porter wasn't that big, but he Division II led the nation in rebounding like 4 years in a row, something like that. He's a rebounding freak, like 6'5". They had another guy named Kev Young. Kev Young is a playground legend. One time I was playing ball in a park, and I shot a 3-pointer, and Kev Young was under the basket and jumped up and grabbed it and pulled it out the air.
Oh shit! I used to do that too.
I forget whoever and Lamar was on their team, but I had a pretty good team. I had Junie. They call him Mr. Excitement. Junie won like the battleground for like $10,000 for Nike, the 1-on-1.
Yeah.
I had Mike Campbell when he's at LIU.
Okay.
And I had Booger. Booger was my point guard.
I was about
Booger.
to ask
We
a
know Booger.
question with
Booger was my point guard. And Booger's dribbling the ball through his legs. Boom, 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 boom. He's like kind of like in between the foul line. Like foul line extended, but not all the way out.
Yep.
He's dribbling through his legs, and Oliver Taylor's like forearm pushing him. And he's looking at the ref. You're not going to call it? You're not going to call it? And we had another kid named Jesus. Jesus cut to the basket, and Booger rolls the ball. He rolled the ball with so much topspin,
popped up.
it popped up and hit the kid cut into the basket.
Booger
And he
was
laid it up.
Crazy.
You got that on video?
No. Of course not. Greatest pass I ever saw.
Wow.
All right,
G,
so
you my witness.
I gotta ask one more thing. So, because Soul in the Hole is one of my favorite, but do you have a favorite basketball movie?
That's all I really watch is basketball movies. I'm on the spot with that one. Name some.
He got game, soul in the hole.
But Toof's older now. He's
Above
probably
the
loving
rim.
basketball.
Nah. That's my wife's favorite though.
Space Jam 2 with LeBron, right?
Nah, I didn't even
Above
watch
the
that.
rim, Sunset Park. What else we got?
Maybe Above the Rim.
Coach Carter.
Maybe yeah. Maybe Above the Rim. Above the Rim or Soul in the Hole. Soul in the Hole. I know all
Soul
the
in the
guys.
Hole
Like
was-
yes.
Well, I
Soul in
remember
the Hole,
I lived by Rutgers. So
Oh, okay.
Charles Jones, right before he went over to LIU Brooklyn, he was killing it at Rutgers.
Yeah.
And then he went and
Yeah.
just, like, led the.
That's when they had Mousy
NCAA,
Dream
like,
Team, yeah.
points and rebounds, right?
Yeah.
Parker and.
Yeah. A lot of that N1 footage, I taped. I let my boy hold the tape, and he said it was missing Kelly, and it ended up being on that N1 mixtape. I swear, Kelly got paid for that one.
Oh, shit.
That's a nice little.
So you was the
tidbit
camera
threw
guy
in.
at the
Yeah,
N1s?
on a lot of that, the skip stuff.
Yeah.
On a lot of skip stuff. Like Skip and I are friends. I'm like, I met him through. We had a mutual friend, his agent Eddie Lau.
Yeah.
Like that's like my family, and so through the years, Skip and I became real cool, and we talked about it. Like I was at all those games. Like I had the video camera. It was my boy's video camera. I didn't have a camera, and he lived in Long Island, so he'd be like, "Yo, you going to the game? Take my camera," and I would go and I would tape it.
Wow,
That's crazy.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Fun
Toof,
fact right
I didn't even know you were the
almost
camera.
didn't
I was.
Wow.
You were gonna leave without telling us that.
Yeah.
Good
Like
thing
there
we
was
got that extra
there was
question
other
in.
people obviously, but
Yeah.
like from some of the angles, like I know like that was the angle I had
That's
on
where
my
I was
tape.
standing
Like
there
yeah,
now,
like
yeah.
Wow.
but I didn't get a dime from that. I think Kelly did.
Somebody owed Toof
Pay this
money.
man.
Somebody
Pay
owed
the
Toof
man.
money. Yeah.
It's out there now. It's out there. Well,
Yo, thank you, Toof. This is the authenticity. You hear what he just said? He was the cameraman for the N1 mixtape. This guy seen it all. Toof, thank you for joining us, man. Run the Court podcast is about Run the Court, the game. Remember, the game's coming out soon. Toof, you're going to play the game. We're going to send it over to you.
Absolutely.
You're going to
we
fuck
got
with it.
put him in the game.
He's in the game already, yeah. We're going to scan you out. When we go outside, my man's going to scan you. We're going to put you in the game already.
I'm gonna use Rara.
Use right. Yeah, use whoever you want.
Book him.
There you go. There you go.
Yo,
But
thanks for
I'm gonna
joining
put
us,
you in a
man.
Xavier shirt though.
All right, we got Justin, Ryan, Toof. Thank you, everybody. Run the Court podcast brought to you by 13th Bridge. And what's Juan Pepe? What's Cigars, Reyes, Del Caribe Cigars. Thank you. We're gonna smoke. Have a good day. Peace. We out.
So it's me, right?